Every e-commerce platform out there is trying to sell you something. Either the end result, the dream of making a ton of money, or the ecosystem around it, but somewhere along the way, you always end up stuck. That's why I built Webround, because I got tired of being stuck. Hi, I'm Luca, the founder, and this is not sales pitch. It's an invitation for the customers to try out the platform. I spent the last 2 years building Webround, and I believe it's time to introduce it to the world. So you're probably wondering, what is Webround? Why would you use Webround? What does it do different from other platforms? And before answering this question, we need to introduce a little bit of context. Today's landscape for e-commerce platforms is very clear. You have Shopify on one side, which is possibly the best go-to platform for immediate satisfaction. But there's a big problem. They're selling you a website, but you're actually buying an ecosystem. And no customer actually has the exact needs for the apps that they're installing from the store. And they end up treating their website like it's some sort of a phone where they install apps. But a website is not a phone, it's a complex system that requires the hands of experts. So when the app does not fit or is too complicated for their use case or their knowledge, they start scaling these requests to developers or agencies. And now the pain transfers from the customer to the developer, which has to basically use an app that is not 100% compatible with what the customer wants to do, or it's not 100% compatible with the team, or needs to make tweaks to an already fragile web app. On the other hand, you have open source softwares like WooCommerce, Venture, Medusa, and so on. They're great because they're open source, but on the other side, you take the risk of going into a maze of particular implementations that you do not actually understand. And you also take the responsibility to manage the environment and the infrastructure because it's basically self-hosted. This does not really give you a better position because you end up growing monoliths with time with apps that you don't fully understand. And somehow along the way, it becomes painful again to create, extend, and scale the app. But clearly, these apps make a lot of sense in specific areas. Shopify is a huge managed platform that doesn't really care how much traffic you're going to receive, how many purchases you're going to make per day. They will just scale and they'll keep you covered. On the other hand, so open source software is self-managed, and it means that data never leaves the infrastructure. You actually own your data, and it's on your own server. So let me ask you one question. What if you had a managed environment that lets you build natively in a modern and standardized way, and it gives you a set of APIs and SDKs that are tested, documented, and let you build virtually anything while keeping plugins and extensions as separated microservices that work with the core of the platform and not within the core of the platform? Well, that's what Webround basically is. And this is the answer to your questions. Why would you use Webround? What does it do different? It's exactly this. We need to understand other platforms before we can actually understand Webround. So now you're probably wondering also, who's the target user for Webround? And the answer to this question is with three sets of users. The first type of user is the no-code user. He does not know how to write code or doesn't want to do it, is not willing to take risks in custom implementations, and wants to keep things simple. With Webround, you have a no-code editor that lets you stay in the boundaries of the custom components that you can build, but with no-code approach. So they will be limited, but you will not break anything. And at the same time, you will have the freedom to build any layout. On the other hand, there is the React developer. The React developer is definitely the favorite in Webround for a good reason. First of all, you've got a React integrated development environment where you can build and write clearly your own components using any npm package and Tailwind. Because at the same time, you have an integrated SDK that lets you use the underlying app and access data, objects, functions, so that you can leverage built-in e-commerce functionalities into your own custom components. And this is a great advantage because it's a quick way to build custom websites without the need to install anything or knowing everything about the platform. All these functions and objects are completely typed and documented. Then we have the builder. This user does not care about editor or SDKs. He has a simple attitude. Give me a bunch of APIs and I'll figure it out. The potential here is huge because you can just call APIs from outside and leverage Webround for whatever you want. You want to create a headless e-commerce store? No problem. You want to use Webround purely as a data layer for your own app? No problem. You want to build custom panels that interact with Webround and other third-party services? No problem. All you need is the will to work and read the documentation. One more thing worth mentioning, and this is very important for builders that are watching this video, is that e-commerces are not just storefronts with a nice interface. They have a lot of things to do, like data to sync, external systems to connect to, events to handle. And the usual answer on other platforms usually be install another app, pay another subscription, and so forth. With Webround, you have native tools to do this. You have webhooks that allow you to react to custom events from the platform. You have edge hooks to inject custom data from your own infrastructure into your web page before render time. Then you have checkout hooks that allow you to inject custom logic at checkout time so that you can implement bundles, custom shipping logic, restrictions, whatever you want, basically. And then we have app extensions, which are a way to integrate external panels into Webround so that you have a unified panel from where you can access different other stuff that allow you to synchronize Webround with other systems or allow you to communicate with Webround APIs and other systems APIs. Now we go deep into these tools in a separate video, but for now just know they exist, they're very useful. At this point, you might be wondering if Webround is the right tool for you. And I'll be honest, you have to try it out to know this.
Do it!
What I can tell you is that I genuinely care about this platform because not only it's something that I've built by myself, it's also something that exists for a real reason and wants to solve common pains that derive from the usage of common platforms. I'm not looking for customers. I'm looking for builders, no-code developers, React developers that want to try the platform out and see if Webround fits their needs. I also want to collect feedback, talk to different people. I want you to try the platform out and tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you think is a good idea, what you think is a bad idea, and so forth. So please try it out and let me know what you think about it. I will try my best to catch up with everybody. And the end of the day, you have nothing to lose, just a new platform to try out, and it could solve some of your problems by allowing you to build better websites. If you have any questions, doubts, or just want to talk, reach out. I will be more than happy to talk to you. And that's it. That's it for this video. I want to thank you for watching it so far, and I'll see you in the next one.